Hello, beautiful and beloved ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And if you wonder about that strange title, stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special message about this historic shift from third dimensional consciousness to fifth dimensional consciousness happening for the whole planet, never before happened. So that's exciting. But up until then, we're going to do a reaction to Erik Grönwall, House of the Rising Sun. This looks good, so here we go.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun.
So this is very interesting. It really gets into it. He's like really setting the scene here, almost like an actor or something. Let's go back a little bit. And he's just so invested in it. That he's worried, he's concerned.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor. She sewed my new blue jeans. My father a gambling man down in New Orleans.
Okay, so this is interesting. I'm really getting the story more than I ever did when I ever sort of heard it on the radio. And it's slower, and I guess he's talking about, like, so you caught the card, so his father was a gambler, maybe now he's a gambler. I thought that was a house of ill repute, but I wasn't sure exactly what kind of house. So this is giving it a lot of context, at least as much as he kind of sees it. Oh boy, look at the look on his face. He's really giving us the story of this pain of this song. Wow.
There's a suitcase and a trunk, and the only time he's satisfied is when he's on a drunk.
A gambler's only satisfied when he's on the drunk. Wow.
Oh, mother, tell your children not to do what I have done. Spend your lives in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun.
into that. He's got one foot on the platform and one foot on the train. This is so sad, isn't it? So sad. I never really got the full sadness of this song until I saw him sing it. Wow. To New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. Wow. Such the story of addiction, isn't it?
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. God, I know I'm
Oh, that song made me cry. Oh my goodness. About the travails of addiction. Of course, every addicted person starts out, usually a wonderful person, and then by the end, you wouldn't even recognize them. And here he describes, he just can't stop. He just cannot stop. He's going back. He knows how terrible it is. He knows how horrible it is. And of course, gambling is a legitimate addiction. And the only way he gets some sense of satisfaction, he said, is for drinking, which is another addiction, Just the addicted lifestyle and the despair that so many people feel. And the loved ones, too, because I'm remembering back on my days of loving someone with an addiction, and he couldn't stop. I never would have believed this man would have given up me and his children for alcohol. But he did. That's what addiction does to you. And there are ways out, but most of those ways involve believing in something higher than yourself that could help you wrestle your way out of it. Unfortunately, my husband just couldn't do that. He couldn't believe that. So, boy, that's a sad song and so beautifully done. And that is a well done video. Well done. It tells a story. It makes sense. It goes with the song. It's not just like you have a song and you have a story and they have nothing to do with each other. Right? The energy of the story is the sadness of addiction. The story is the sadness of addiction. The music is the sadness of addiction. The way he sang it is the sadness, the rage, the helplessness of addiction. Everything goes together there. This like so satisfies the performer in me. A lot of videos I see, music videos, it's like, what does the song have to do with how you're doing this video? But this one is spot on, excellent, like I don't even know, a paramount job on this. Just so well done, Erik. Wow. And just so moving, so moving. Oh my. And now I have to put it on my scale, right? My scale of what pulls you more toward fifth dimension: love, peace, joy, bliss. And what pulls you more toward third dimension: fear, pain, sadness, anger. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of that in there, right? So it's not pulling us upward, although it is a conversation maybe for people to get help. I think that this song, the way he's done it, is like, it's kind of like it wants to move people to get help for that kind of thing, right? It wants to just really and have other people understand what it's like for the addicted person. So it's looking to foster understanding and that kind of thing. But it's still low vibration. It's not pulling us right strongly to love and joy and all that and bliss. So I'm going to go with a 5 on this one. And that's not about how great he did it. If I had to say how great he did it, scale 1 to 10, he's a 50. Okay. This song is a 50 on a scale of 1 to 10. But, as if you want to be on the path to 5D, it's something that would probably make you sad and pull you kind of backwards. But sometimes that's important, right? By the way, if we can purge our own emotions that are in it through the song, not that we want to listen over and over again and keep, a mouse on a wheel repeating and repeating and repeating the pain, but sometimes it's good to listen to something that will release your latent emotions, if you will. So, excellent job, excellent job. I really enjoyed it. And by the way, if you enjoyed my video, please like my video. And also like his, for sure. It's in the notes. And subscribe to my channel, right? And hit that little notification bell so you know when I do a song. I'd like to know, by the way, were you as moved by this song as I was? Did it bring you to tears? I mean, this song, and I never has it brought me to tears to hear it on the radio. So just the way he did it brought me to tears. Oh my goodness. Did that bring you to tears? Did that move you some powerful way? Let me know in the notes. Oh my goodness. And if you'd like to know more about me, you can go to the About Me video here on YouTube, right? And my cat is messing around here. You can go to the About Me video on YouTube, which leads you to a little longer video if you want to know more about my journey, my Forged in the Fire 3D journey. And I've also created some things you might want to be involved in. So for that, you can go to the link in the notes about Lorelei on Patreon. And let's see, if you're interested, let me know if you're interested in the comments to have me create a little small group in here. Just a few bucks a month, but you get to have special content that's just all for you, and it uplifts you. It's songs or it's meditations or whatever I can come up with, and maybe some now and again a live stream. So let me know if that's of interest to you. But meanwhile, let's get to our fifth dimensional message. The move to 5D is your and only your journey. This is so interesting that I did it on this song, because I was going to do it on another song, and then that song was too long. But this song is so appropriate because, we can get so swooped up. Can't we get so swooped up in the problems of those around us, our loved ones, our parents, our spouses, our children, their situation, their suffering and everything else, right? And we can be so swooped up in it. I was so swooped up in my husband's situation. There finally came a time I had to say, oh, wait a minute. This is my life. I need to put the focus over here and figure out how to have my life be wonderful and joyful. And eventually, after doing that over and again, because I wanted the children also to be healthy, right? Eventually, it wound up in a divorce, and he finally passed away some years later. But for this ascension journey, it's so much more important that the focus is always just over here, that we let go of whatever's going on with our loved ones, right? We must let it go so that we can make our journey, because getting involved in They're suffering and all that's happening with them. And sometimes it's their anger, and sometimes it's their, just thinking badly of you, or not looking up to you, not valuing your opinion, thinking you're just a dunderhead, or whatever it is coming from those people out there is going to pull us down, way, way down. And we're not going to be able to raise ourselves up to get to that fifth dimension. Because that's what it's about. It's about raising ourselves up. And it's only for ourselves, nobody else. We can't do it for anybody else. We're not going to raise them up if we try. They're going to pull us back, right? We can only do it for ourselves. But in doing it for ourselves, we are providing this very most important thing that everybody needs, which is that example. It can be done. And how do you do it? You do it for yourself and only yourself. Now they're on that journey, maybe. Now they need to figure out how to, like, let go of all the craziness around there. I was speaking with a woman recently that I had met, and we got into a bit of a long conversation. She seemed like a very nice person, but she told the story about her granddaughter who passed away, and the story leading up to it of how she had transitioned, or was beginning to transition, cut off her breast, was beginning to transition to be a man. And she kept telling her son, don't do, this is not good, because she had a history of social work, and this is dangerous and everything else. And finally, the girl, in the whole process, at the age of like 17, she hung and herself. So that doesn't get tagged by the YouTube people. Oh my goodness, what a terrible, terrible story. And then now the woman lashes out sort of in her grief and her anger and says something like, I told you this would happen. I told you so. You see, I knew it was going to happen. And the other one, the son, in his anger, lashes back out at her and says, oh, this is terrible. I hate to even to tell it to you, but he said something effective. I hope you die a miserable, unhappy life all alone. Oh my gosh. Right? One needs to get away from that. One needs to get away from the entire insanity of those mutilating their bodies, or allowing their loved ones to mutilate their bodies, or allowing crimes in the community and saying it's a good thing, to allow this, and it's a bad thing to clean up the crimes. One needs to get far away from that. I know some of them are our loved ones. We love them deeply. But they're not on a good path. They're heading the way that girl headed, or the way the father then headed. Now he has to live the rest of his life knowing that this happened to his child, and that he was probably a part of it. He probably knew that in his hurt, and when she put the onus on him in anger, he lashed back. Get away from them all. Even if it's not that extreme, but they're just like totally not on your path, and you want to be on the path of love and light, and they're on a different path. They're in an angry or a sad or other kind of path. Get away from them all. You will not be able to get to fifth dimension if you stay attached to them. Now, whether you get up and you move right away from them, that's not a bad idea if you're too close and everybody's in your business and all. Or whether you can just do it by just saying no to their family gatherings more, and just sort of doing your own thing, and always having something else that you're doing when they're doing this thing where you get swooped up in the negativity and the anger. I'm not talking about all of the family gatherings, right? Or all the times they invite you out, but staying away from it if you have a feeling that it's going to pull you down and drag you down and drown you, literally, right? Stay away from it. Find ways to start saying no. I had to do this with my family when, as I was, separating from my husband, and I was separating from his family as well. And, this was even before they knew that I was going to divorce, right? Because I had to do that because there was such, craziness going on over there. So it's so important anyway for our life, but it's triple, double, quadruple, quintuple important as we get us on the path to fifth dimension. Get away from anything and anyone who pulls us back. I don't want to sound heartless. I know you love your people. So do we all. But you can't do anything for them. You're not going to pull them up. And it may be possible that they need more lives of third dimensional nature in their journey, right? In their life, in their journey of their soul. They may need more lives of a fifth dimensional nature. So they may not go to the higher dimension. But you have to let them live their life. We have to. I have to. I have to practice this all the time, right? With my loved ones. I have to let them live their life, and I'm doing mine, and my life is going to 5D, raising, feeling great, feeling wonderful, being in the love vibe, being in the joy vibe, being in the bliss vibe all the time, and never letting anything pull me back. So that is the situation, because it is only your journey, and for them it's only their journey. For each and every individual on this planet, it is each individual's journey. It is only each individual's journey. It always was only each individual's journey, right, to go to the higher levels, be it Jesus or other people who are ascended masters who have ascended, right? It was always each individual's journey. But now what we have is a mass of people, each taking an individual journey. It's not a collective journey. We have nothing to do with what anybody else is doing. It will happen collectively. But for each individual, it's our personal journey. So, okay, beloved ones, I'm going to send you that wonderful energy, the fifth dimensional energy, the energy that lets you detach, that godlike energy. Excuse me, the cat is messing with my, that fifth dimensional energy, the God energy that allows you to literally let your loved ones do as they will, knowing someday they will come back to the heart space. It may not be this life, maybe 10, 20 lives, but giving them that freedom that God gave us to live these lives as we so desire. Giving each and every one of that. I'm sending you that beautiful energy. The love, the peace, the joy, the bliss, the freedom. Freedom to do you and let them do them. Here we come. Namaste. I honor the God in you.